between the current Midas Rex that you have, these ones, and then they're pretty similar, so that won't take too long. And then if there's any questions about processes or specific to the drills themselves, I'm happy to hang out and talk about that too. So, the biggest change with these drills is all internal. So they're going to look pretty similar. Everything they did was to help with the washing and sterilization process. So hopefully it's less headaches for you guys. I don't know how often you deal with maybe complaints from the OR about heating and that kind of thing, but these were designed to be better from that standpoint. So there's going to be 4 types of trays, which I think is what you have currently. So there's electric, which is this small one. This is what the electric drill looks like. It's got the black cord. I think there's 16 of those. I could be off in the numbers. Attachments are all going to be the same. Doesn't matter what tray. So if I wanted to flip-flop these, you can. So the attachments work with whatever motor you got. So from electric, I'll go to the other electric one, which is, this is the navigated drill, Stealth Midas. I don't know what you guys have it listed as. There's only 2 of these. And they're probably used less frequently. They only have 2 attachments in them, so they're more of a simple tray. That's pretty much it about those. Any questions about any of the electric stuff? Yep.
So what is the cleaning procedure of the cord? So can we send through the the washer?
So I'll leave it up to you guys. I have the IFUs here.
Does it cut the life cycle into half if we push them through the washer?
There's 2 parts to that. One is yes, it does. Running anything through the wash lets water into weird cracks and crevices. All these things have, these attachments have bearings in there. The motors have motor components. So the IFU says you can though. And whatever you guys want to do. Part 2 of that is you do have a service contract, so that when these things do get rusted, which they will, it's just the nature of the beast, we give overnight exchanges. And so I'll leave it up to you guys. I always recommend hand washing, but if it's going to save you guys a lot of time and headaches, and then I would say you can do whatever you want, as long as you have an air hose if you can. The air hose process afterward is the most important piece, whether you're hand washing or machine washing. So, but yeah, I'm glad you asked that.
You mean the drying process? We have to thoroughly drying. You mean, right? We have to dry before we start.
As good as you can. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, there's the additions to this were additional layers of there to prevent the water from getting where it shouldn't go. So, but we can figure out whatever you guys
Folks,
want to do.
the bottom line with these drills are, you guys know this better than I do. Every piece that is going to be used, if you just put it in the washer, it's not going to get clean. You know that. So we have to do the brushing part into those lumens. That goes without saying. But like Garen said, we have a contract on these. We can have them replaced overnight. It's still an inconvenience. We have upped the count from before, so hopefully it's not going to be as tight as it was before. But we have that option. I understand there's a lot of pieces to it, and we're going to work with the OR also if there's a way that something can be separated what is used. That's going to help. But you all know these are pieces that are going to hold blood and everything else inside of it. And if we just try to push it through the washer, it's still going to remain in there. So being that, we can, it's like a hybrid. You're going to do the manual cleaning and then you're going to put it in the washer also, okay?
The cord also, right? The cord.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's
Okay.
a
The
giant
ISS
fuse.
recommends you push the whole thing with the set.
So
like that.
just like the cysto pieces where we had the issue where things were being separated, we
Yeah.
still want to be very careful not to separate anything. And the reality of it is, even when we were hand washing, if you think about it, things get dropped in the water that should not be submerged. The only difference now is that they're telling you that you can put it in the washer, which people were putting them in there anyway. So now they're telling you that you can, and even though that cuts down the half-life, the idea here is that you can do what you were probably already doing. Because if you were submerging it, you were technically putting it in the washer. The water was getting in areas where it should not be. So this actually gives us a right to do what we were already doing. But the idea is keep everything together. That's the biggest thing. If we don't keep it together, it's going to cause more harm than help. So just keep everything together. And then also, here, really use that medical air. I'm still seeing brushes on the clean side, and I get why we're doing that. But what it does is that we don't know that we're not cleaning things thoroughly because we don't send them back. And so if I'm in decontam and I had an 8-hour day, I think everything I did was beautiful today because nobody told me otherwise. And what happened was probably 10 of those items I did wasn't beautiful, but somebody cleaned them on the clean side. And so I think I'm doing a great job, and I'm not. Tell me that I'm doing, a not so great job and send things back. It's not about me getting offended. It's about me just being aware that I need to take a better time to clean things and pay more attention to what I'm doing. It's not about offense. It's really about me being aware of what I'm supposed to be doing. Use medical air. In things that can get alcohol and wipe down, use that. But if in doubt, send it back. Don't pull out a brush and start cleaning. If the air doesn't get it, send it back. We have to do more of that. That's the reason why we have that air at those stations. And I know it costs you time. You're saying, well, now it's going to slow me down. But that's a part of the process. That's a part of the process. Put that tray down, send the whole tray back, start up another one. And then when you get that one back, then, pick up where you left off if you can. But we have to do better at that. You can continue.
So, just to pick up where I was, so you're gonna have 4 types of trays. We'll have count sheets together soon, and then we'll get them tagged and stuff. So the last thing I would show you, and then I can any questions you have. If they ever come back with a burr in them, I don't know if that happens often or not.
Yeah.
It does? Okay. So obviously some of the burrs have sharp edges, so just to be careful with it. But all the attachments and motors connect the same. So on a straight one, it's just simply you'll see an arrow for a lock unlock. I invite you all to come up after and try it out. But it's very simple. It's just one click and then they both come on. The angled ones are a little different because there's 2 separate locks. The first one is just to lock this thing on, and then there's a lock up top. So if this angled one comes back, this top lock takes the burr out, bottom lock takes it out. I can't think of anything else. There should be very similar to what you had. Just better, hopefully.
Getting it right, they're all containerized now, or?
Yep. So all of them are gonna have,
No wrap.
I was gonna call it Escalate, but it's not Escalate. So you have to wrap them anymore, and they should all have them, and actually they do all have them. So the small ones obviously go with these. Every other one is the same. So there's the big size, which will work with the 2 pneumatic and the stealth. I think that's it.
Filter, everything else is the same. There's no
You'd probably answer better than me, but I believe the filters you have will be fine. I did get some samples somewhere. Yep.
So additionally, Garen will be here tomorrow in the OR from 7 to 8. And he'll be hosting 15-minute in-services from the end-user perspective. If you guys are available and would like to go to that tomorrow, you will be able to go to that. I want the end services that we're having moving forward to be from both perspectives, the end user and the preparer's perspective, because from the end user's perspective, it gives us a little bit more insight about how the instruments are used. For instance, there's a doctor at Highland who uses K-wires as retractors. And so if you ever got back a bent K-wire, we're saying we don't understand why they're bent when they're supposed to be straight. Well, the end user is using them as retractors, but we don't know that because we're not in the room. From both perspectives, you can begin to gather why things are done the way they are, and it may help you have a better assessment of how to clean it if you know where it's used and what's actually being done with it while it's being used. So tomorrow he's doing the end user perspective, and if you guys are here during that time and you'd like to take 15 minutes to go see that, please do so. Let me and the supervisor know that you want to go attend that, and that'll be available to you. Any questions?
Everybody's good. These drills are here slightly different, right? Only.
There's very minor differences.
Yeah.
It's,
So once we know, I think we're waiting on one piece. Once we know when we can have those replaced, so we'll pull the old ones out and these will be the new ones, okay? I'll let everybody know if it's gonna be next week or the following week. That's when we're gonna have them deployed.